And George Logan. He is the Republican candidate in that district. We have also invited his opponent on for an appearance, but so far she has not responded to our request. George, it's good to talk to you. In your first ad, you were standing beside a box saying that you don't fit into the box of the, quote, typical Republican. Expand on that.
Sure. You know, the Democrat leadership in Connecticut is trying to put me in a box in terms of trying to shape the way that folks view Republicans in the state and trying to put me in that box. I don't fit that box, because what I'm doing here is I'm looking to lower costs and to make our community safer. I'm focused on those items. And the Democrat leadership in Connecticut, unfortunately, they're stooping to racist tactics just to try to win this election, and it's terrible.
Yeah, let me focus in on that because this happened back in May when Connecticut Democrats launched an attack on you. Some people say that it was written in the form of a Curious George story. The attack was seen as racially insensitive at best, straight up racist at worst. What was your take on it?
No, absolutely. I mean, they used the same cadence, and they, actually wouldn't take down the social media posts until Democrats and Republicans throughout the state decried it, and then they were forced to take it down. So it just goes to show they're willing to do anything to try to remain in power and to keep this seat. That's why it's just so important that we raise the resources that we have to get our message out and to win this seat back and flip the House of Representatives and get rid of Nancy Pelosi as Speaker once and for all.
But just so we're clear on that, do you believe it was a racist attack? Because it's always the Democratic Party that's the first to pull the racism card.
Look, the Democratic Party is only concerned about maintaining power and staying in power, and they'll use whatever tactics are necessary, including racist tactics. And clearly, this was absolutely a racist tactic that they were using. It backfired on them, and that's because we have the better message. Look, they also said that folks would only vote for me because I'm black. That came from my opponent. That came from her surrogates throughout the state. So, we've got the better message. They're worried, but we just need to make sure because they're hammering me with negative, false attack ads, and we've got to have enough to get our message out to win this seat back.
All right. Now, in terms of issues, which are very important to people, let's take a look at where the Democratic Party and the Republican Party fare. According to a new ABC News Washington Post poll, Republicans leading well out on the economy, on inflation, Democrats leading on abortion, Republicans leading on crime. It's fairly close in education and schools. Democrats, as you can imagine, lead on climate change. And then immigration is pretty much neck and neck there. Your opponent, Jahana Hayes, won both her elections with more than 50% of the vote. You've got an uphill battle, but according to that polling, there is a lot on your side.
There is absolutely. Look, when you look at affordability, the cost of goods and services are high. My opponent has supported these massive spending packages that has led to higher inflation. You look at crime. Look at we need to secure our southern borders. My opponent has been mum on that. We have an increase in crime in our district. We have an increase in fentanyl as well, which is coming across the border. All of these things are supported by my opponent, which has only led to disastrous results for families and seniors here in the district, here in Connecticut.
So the strongest issue for the Democrats is the abortion issue. And you oppose a federal ban on abortion. Lindsey Graham came out with his 15-week bill, which is now being used by Democrats to say, see what's going to happen if Republicans take control. So you would rather leave it to the states. So my question to you is, a lot of these states will have certain restrictions. A lot will have bans on abortion, but then some will have no restrictions. Are you comfortable with letting the states decide?
Look, my role as a congressman will be to follow the laws of the land. And the Supreme Court are the ones who decided, and they chose to leave it up to the states. And I support that decision. I'm not running for a Supreme Court position. I'm running to be congressman.
I get it. But are you, George, comfortable with the state allowing a state that has no restriction on abortion right up until the moment of birth to go ahead and do whatever it wants?
I am comfortable with running for Congress to represent the 5th Congressional District in Connecticut. Here in Connecticut, and I believe that a woman should have the right to choose as long as it's safe, legal, and rare. I do not support late-term abortions. I do not support abortions up until the day before birth. And I also believe in parental notifications. And those are the things that I'm going to support down in Washington.
All right. George Logan, good to spend some time with you. We'll keep watching this race very closely. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Remember, GeorgeLoganForCongress.com. I need the support in order to win this seat back.
All right. We'll see you again soon. Good luck in your race. Thanks.